So we have a ton of new tidbits regarding the iPhone 14 series, so let's delve into it. So beginning with Mark Gurman, he gave us a massive report on Apple's 2022 releases, and of course he gave us a few details regarding the iPhone 14 series. So once again, Gurman tells us the lock screen redesign we saw with iOS 16 was for the always-on display coming to the 14 Pros. And that was pretty clear to me because clearly the design of it has been inspired by what you can do on the Apple Watch, and so clearly this is going to work in tandem with the always-on display we're going to get with the 14 Pros. And yes, Gurman again does reiterate the 14 Pros are going to be the only models getting this, not the regular models, because the Pros do have LTPO 2.0 that allows their displays to go down to 1 Hz like the Apple Watch. Anyways, Mark Gurman says that the always-on display on the iPhones is going to be very similar to the watch and should show you widgets, weather, calendars, stocks, activities, and other data while the screen remains at a low brightness and frame rate. And also for those worried about sensitive data being shown on this display, this can be hidden like on the Apple Watch. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for this. As I've said many times, having an always-on display while my phone is on a wireless charging stand is going to be very convenient, since at a glance I can see all the notifications and my schedule, for example, without of course picking up the phone. And I think this is going to be better than the Apple Watch because you have to look down at the watch to see all the data, but of course you can leave your iPhone on the desk and so it's always in your eye view. Anyways, Gurman once again tells us the main features with the 14 Pros. That's going to be a new front-facing camera with autofocus, a new rear camera that's going to be 48 megapixels, thinner bezels, a faster A16 chip, and a dual hole punch display on the front. Now the Pros have been codenamed D73 and D74, but the regular models, those are D27 and D28, and they really don't have many upgrades. Gurman tells us that Apple's going to stick to the A15 chip with these, and basically the big upgrade's going to be the new max size. Gurman also tells us that Lightning will be gone next year with the iPhone 15, but this will be the last year with the Lightning port. And to be honest, as someone who wirelessly charges, I could care less about the port. And to be fair, it's about time we see this upgrade because when Apple's pushing features like ProRes, we clearly need USB-C or Thunderbolt on these iPhones to transfer the footage more easily, so yes, I'm all for this. Even if I don't really charge my phone through the port, I know many users are going to love this. Anyways, now we have a report from Digitimes, a not so credible source, but they do tell us that iPhone 14 component shipments are now underway. So basically this means suppliers are now getting components and mass production for these iPhones is about to begin, and that makes complete sense. Apple usually starts mass production around this time of the year, so of course assembling these products and having them ready weeks before their release is typical Tim Cook strats. Anyways, moving on to iHack2 leaks, he tells us we could see new MagSafe accessories with the iPhone 14 series. So number one, he expects a new MagSafe power bank to launch with these iPhones, and that's interesting because I was assuming the power bank was going to stay the same for years to come, but maybe Apple's going to give us different capacities, so maybe a smaller version that's more compact, and a larger version that gives you a lot more juice. Those I guess could be nice. However, I'll be honest guys, it's really hard to justify buying the MagSafe power bank, especially when there's alternatives like the Anker power bank that offers you even better battery life while charging you less. And so yes, Apple, lower the price and I'll gladly buy this, but if it retails for the same price, then yeah, it's going to be a hard buy. Oh, and also I could see Apple offering new colours for the MagSafe power bank, maybe something that matches the colours of the iPhone 14 models. Anyways, iHack2 also says we could see a new shell for an always-on display. Now I'm assuming this is referring to the stupid leather sleeve that Apple sells for $130. Now we know the 14 Pro is going to get taller, so to of course accommodate that, Apple is of course going to release a new version of that. And yeah, I guess it could get a bigger hole on the front to make space for your always-on display, but ultimately I would not buy this. Please do not buy this. It's such a bad deal at $130. I'm sure you could find a cheaper version of this for much less. Anyways, that's about it for the reports, but let's now delve into your thoughts regarding iPhone 14 rumors. So Sweeler Max says, noticing how the M2 has a higher clock speeds and a higher power draw, so the A16 could follow suit, thus requiring a bigger battery with the 14s. And yeah, that could definitely be the case, though I'm hoping that if we do get a bigger battery inside, the efficiency cores can help us get better battery life with the 14s. Because if we do get a more powerful chip and also bigger battery inside, and it results in very similar battery life, that would be disappointing. So yes, if we do get a bigger battery, I do hope we see some battery improvements. So iCave Dave says, I like big bats and I cannot lie. And yes, that's basically me. I love big batteries. I want my phones to last as long as possible, so yes, if Apple gave me 5,000 mAh with the 14 Pro Max, that would be the dream iPhone. And yeah, battery should be the first priority for many consumers, because what's the point of having all the fancy features if your phone cannot easily last throughout a day? So yes, I value battery life over every feature on the planet. So MF says it's the iPhone 12 all over again if the batteries are smaller for the Pros. I'm definitely not upgrading from the 13 Pro Max and will for the 15, which will be big again. And yes, MF does actually make a good point, because recently there's been rumours regarding battery capacities for the 14s being smaller in some cases to the 13 series, and Apple has done this in the past. For example, the 11 series was a massive increase, then Apple reduced it with the 12 series, and then Apple gave us that battery life back with the 13 series. And so I guess they're going to reduce it back again with the 14 series, though that report does still seem very dodgy to me, because we're getting thicker chassis with the Pros, so surely that means we're going to see a battery increase. I doubt it's going to get smaller, so yes, I find that report hard to believe, and I am very much still thinking we're going to see battery life upgrades with the 14 series. Anyways, that's about it, but tell me your thoughts on this report in the comments. Anyways, thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe for the latest Apple news and rumours. Check out the video above on details regarding the Apple VR headsets. And on that note, I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya, peeps.